We begin in Gaza, where the UN warns the conditions on the ground are, quote, increasingly dire, with food, water, and medicine all running critically low, as Israel's siege on Gaza and war against Hamas continues. The focus is on the Rafah crossing between Egypt and Gaza, where right now trucks carrying vital aid are unable to get to those who desperately need it. Here's the UN Secretary General highlighting this need as he arrived at the crossing today.
These trucks are not just trucks. They are a lifeline. They are the difference between life and death for so many people in Gaza. And to see them stuck here makes me be very clear. What we need is to make them move. To make them move to the other side of this wall. To make them move as quickly as possible and as many as possible.
Egypt is expected to give the green light this weekend, but as Israel amasses huge number of troops and equipment near the Gaza border and the possibility of a ground offensive builds, the urgency of that aid increases. The Egyptian Food Bank is one of the organizations eager to cross and help. Its CEO, Mohsen Sarhan, joins us now from the border. Mohsen, thank you so much for taking time during this critical moment when you're trying to get aid to those desperately in need. I know that your organization is part of a larger alliance to help see those trucks cross into Gaza and deliver the aid. There were reports that they were allowed to cross in earlier today. That doesn't seem to be the case right now. Give us an update on where things stand at the moment.
Thank you so much for helping deliver our message to the world. Today was day 7 that we're camping here at the Rafah crossing. I think today we've reached more than 200 trucks. That's approximately 4,000 metric tons of food. That's of course not counting, I think 7 or 8 planes of aid from international development organizations and from other countries that want to help in that humanitarian crisis. Today we had some hope with Antonio Guterres coming to the Rafah crossing himself. We thought we're going in. We've been ready now, I think we've been ready for 7 days. The trucks are loaded, the trucks are closed, the drivers are in the trucks, and they're ready just to go to the other side. And then the Secretary General of the UN gave a very mild speech and he went away. So to us, what's expected? What's going to happen next? How is this ever going to unfold? The highest authority of human rights in the world can't convince Israel to stop the killing just for a few hours to get the aid in. This is very, to me, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit frustrated because to me, I'm seeing people dying on the other side. I'm calling doctors there in Gaza, they ran out of anesthetics. So now they have to do surgeries without anesthetics and without antibiotics. So it's not just genocide and ethnic cleansing of an entire population, it's also torture before that's happening. And now they don't want to just stop the killing for a few hours to get the aid in. This is very medieval. And this is started, I've studied in the US and I've lived in the US and I have many good friends in the US and we've dreamt together of making the world a better place. But now what's happening now, the killing that I'm seeing in front of me and it's financed by the taxpayers of the West and particularly the US, it makes me very sad for the very definitions of humanity and the very definition of human rights.
So I take it you're disappointed with what you've heard thus far with the UN General Secretary. What specifically, what more would you like to see him do?
I'd like to see him as the highest authority of peace in the world try to make Israel stop the killing just for a few hours. Because myself, and I'm speaking only for myself as an aid worker, the way that Israel is operating in that environment in Gaza, to me, it's a very clear, methodical plan for an ethnic cleansing of the entire population. And I want you to remember the Ministry of Defense of Israel when he said, I will starve those people and we will treat them as human animals. And that plan has been executed now to the letter. People are being killed every day. Now in Gaza, people cannot get their dead from under the rubble. They don't have equipment and they don't have enough manpower to keep up with the people that are stuck dead under the rubble. So now Gaza is turning from the world's biggest open-air prison, and the whole world knows that. These people have been imprisoned there for more than 70 years, into the world's biggest open-air graveyard.
Mohsen,
and this makes me very sad.
Mohsen, let me ask you, because both Israel and the United States have issued really an ultimatum that aid can only come across if it doesn't go into the hands of Hamas. Who are your points of contact on the ground there to ensure that doesn't happen?
Okay, let me first start by saying that condition defies the humanitarian aid concept of neutrality. That's for starters. As aid workers, we find this does not make sense, and it defies the very concept of aid. That's the first thing.
I think the premise is the concern is that the aid doesn't get to those in need, but go ahead.
Yeah, but that's the first thing. It defies the concept of humanitarian assistance neutrality, that it is given to people who are starving, regardless of who they are. Okay, let's move to the other step. If I want to determine, no, I will not give the perpetrators aid, and I want only to give the good people. They are all Palestinians. So if I go to the US and I told, for example, I go to any state there, I told, get me only the people, give aid only to the people of German origin. How would I know them? Hamas is not written on IDs. So you don't have an ID of a person that is written Hamas. It's an armed resistance movement that is defying the occupation inside Israel. How would I know them in order not to give them aid? This is a condition designed specifically and very strategically to continue with that ethnic cleansing.
Yeah, we're just getting some alerts. The president says that the first delivery of aid from the trucks is likely to cross in the next 24 to 48 hours. I know that you are desperate to get it across sooner to those in need. Please keep us posted on what you're hearing from doctors there on the ground caring for some of these patients and civilians. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Also for delivering our message to the world. Thank you.
Thank you.